guys and gals, never here from Drake Wayne Game. This is me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of When I Knew You. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go back to the court case. Okay. Guilty of following his heart. More murmurs of agreement come from the jury, and I start to feel a bit hopeful. Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm not guilty. I'd like to show you all, ladies and gentlemen, who our dear Callum has fallen for. Marcus Gabriel O'Brien, age 18, 6'3", Leo, captain of the football team, and relatively handsome too. A close friend of Callum for many years, and throughout this week they have been practically inseparable. Isn't it to anyone surprising that Callum would develop feelings for him? I think not. No, I think this was not a matter of if, but when. Therefore, I believe that putting him on trial for being honest with himself is, for lack of a better term, absolutely preposterous. And I hope, dear jury, you think the same. Callie takes a seat next to me, all smiles, and gives me another wink. Don't worry, love. This one's in the bag. Very well. Prosecution, you may now make your statement. With an impatient jump out of his chair, Alexander makes his way to the center of the courtroom, an angry glare in his eyes. Thank you, Your Honor. He turns to us suddenly and points one vengeful, accusing finger at Callie. The defense has made quite a lovely statement. However, it is quite bluntly, incredibly flawed. Why is that blue? Maybe want to click on it. And that is because of two major reasons that I will proceed to explain to you now, dear jury. But to do that, I need someone to help me. I would like to call Callum Diaz to the stand. Objection! Your Honor, my client will not... Settle down, Callie. You are his defense, not his attorney. Overruled. Callie curses under his breath and gives me a worried look. Well, we're all waiting. After shooting Alexander a dirty look, Callie sighs and nods his head. Sorry, Callum. Looks like you've got to go up there. I stand up with shaking hands, nervously making my way to the judge's podium and taking my seat next to him. Alexander leans coolly against my stand, though does little to actually acknowledge me. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I open with a question. But not you. But not to you. To our dear witness, Callum. He finally looks over at me. With a quick once-over, he coldly states his question. So, Mr. Diaz, can you tell me how long you've been back in Pricefield? About a week? The exact number of days, please. 5 days? 5 days, dear jury. 5 days since Callum stepped foot in this town again. Tell me, is it truly possible for someone to fall in love that quickly? I'd argue that no, actually, it is not. Therefore, Callum's feelings for Marcus cannot be genuine. Objection! Though it's true no one would fall in love with a stranger so quickly, you're forgetting something important. Marcus and Callum were already friends beforehand. They were no strangers. Well, true, but after so much time apart, they couldn't possibly... This is adorable. Yeah, this is super adorable, and I love it. I'd like to disagree. Love can blossom between old lovers, whether they've been apart for 4 years or not. Besides, if there was a possibility for Callum and David to rekindle their flame, why not Callum and Marcus? Ha! You just dug your own grave. Whatever do you mean? Your argument would only make sense if Callum had feelings for Marcus prior to coming back home again. It makes sense with David. He's Callum's ex, meaning there was some romantic attraction between them at some point. But Marcus? There was never even a hint of a spark between them. That's not true! Oh, do you have any evidence? Evidence? That's right. I didn't think so. Which leads me neatly to my next point. Evidence! I have evidence! What? Huh? The jury breaks out in rushed chatter, confusion seeping into every one of them. Order! Order in the court! You have actual evidence, you say? Yes, Your Honor. I would like to present the screen of memories. More murmurs break out as a big, cute panda bear Stuffy rolls out a TV in a cart and hands the remote to my defense. Ladies and gentlemen, before your very eyes will be proof. Proof that this was never just a spur-of-the-moment crush. Vault Memory 126, summer of 9 years ago. And with a single click of a button, the TV starts to play as everyone in the courtroom watches with intense curiosity. Them gigantic hands. I'm sitting on top of a tree, holding onto the trunk tightly, my arms shaking incessantly. Come on, Cal, jump! Marcus stands below me, his arms raised up and inviting me to jump down. Nuh-uh, no way! Come on, you'll be fine, I'll catch you! I've been climbing trees pretending to be ninjas. I remember, but getting down was much scarier than going up. The drop looked real big, and David and Karina had already gone home, leaving Marcus as my only savior. You promise? Of course! I swear I'll catch you, just hurry up and jump already! It wasn't that I didn't trust him, but was he really able to catch me? Despite my insecurities, I decided to put my faith in him anyway, and started my countdown. Okay, here I go. 1, 2, 3! Rather than jumping, I slide myself out of the branch, and the world turns dark as I squeeze my eyes shut. All I could hear was wind rushing up into my ears, and the sound of my own voice yelping as I fell down. I remember feeling terrified, scared beyond comprehension of falling and breaking my bones. Aww. And then I remember that feeling slowly but surely fading away, as I was held tightly in Marcus's arms. See? Told you I'd catch ya. It was close, closer to me than he ever was before, and I was staring right into his green eyes. It was then that I realized he has really pretty eyes. He puts me down, but doesn't break the distance between us. You okay? I realized that even though I was safe and sound, my heart was still beating like crazy. Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you. Anytime. And in that moment, I felt my stomach turn in an unfamiliar way, yet I knew exactly what it meant. That's right. There was a time where I had a crush on Marcus many years ago. I must have forgotten about it since it was so short-lived, but it was definitely real. As you can all see, feelings for Marcus had been present in Callum even before he had feelings for David. There's your evidence right there, Mr. Prosecutor. Alright, sure, this proves that Callum did in fact feel romantic attraction to Marcus at some point. However, this does not null my second point. Second point? Indeed. Alexander turns to me, and I know where this is going just by a look at his eyes. So, Mr. Diaz, could you relate the events that transpired yesterday at the shopping mall? Guilt starts to form in the pit inside my stomach, as I wonder just how I'm going to get out of this. Well, I was buying clothes with Karina, and actually, that doesn't really matter. Tell me what Miss Valenzuela told you at the food court, please. She said she's in love with Marcus. Gasps of shock reverberate from the jury, my face burning in shame. How interesting. So you shamelessly went after Marcus, your so-called crush, even after you learned about Mrs. Valenzuela's feelings? Am I correct? Well... Prosecutor! What exactly do you mean by went after Mr. O'Brien? Well, obviously Mr. Diaz was flirting with Marcus. I disagree. What do you mean you disagree? Shall I relate the words exchanged by them? Callum simply asked Mr. O'Brien if he was like a brother to him, yes? When he wanted a more clear answer, he simply pressed on. No, but they almost kiss! Of course, but tell me, Prosecutor, who leaned into who? The crowd starts to get riled up again, and the judge calls for order. What is your point, defense? My point is that Callum is not at fault here. Sure, there was a weird air between him and Mr. O'Brien, but Callum was not an instigator. In fact, he didn't even realize his feelings for Marcus until after the events of today already transpired. So any flirting or instigation he may have done was purely unintentional. That's all, Your Honor. Prosecution? No further questions, Your Honor. Very well. I believe the jury has reached a verdict as well. With a pounding heart, I watch the judge read the jury's verdict, praying that it's not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Alright, cracking another open, y'all. Alright, is this going to be any different than Hero's Advent? I guess we shall see. After close examination and a very close call, the jury and myself find the defendant not guilty, for the most part. Callie squeals and hugs me tightly, jumping up and down in elation. We did it! We did it! You're a free man! Not quite. Huh? Although it's true we will not punish you, there is still one order of business. Miss Valenzuela. Ah, yeah, of course. Whether I won or lost the trial didn't really matter, did it? In the end, my sentence is the same. I can't pursue Marcus for myself. I couldn't do that to Karina. I won't do that to Karina. And well, he's probably straight and way out of my league anyway. Marcus is my friend. That's it. And that will never change. You going out? I fiddled with my fingers, avoiding my dad's questioning gaze. I had hoped he wouldn't question me for going out on a Sunday, but that was just me being hopeful, really. Yeah, to Troy's. He wants to hang out for a bit. Didn't you go out yesterday, too? Yeah, but that was with Marcus, not Troy. I thought you guys all went together. No, Troy was busy yesterday, so we're hanging out today instead. It won't be long, I promise. I'll be back before 5. 3. Okay, 3. So can I go? Yeah, you can go. But if you're not back before then, I'm going to eat out. I'm going to eat without you. Got it? We're going out to eat? If you're back on time, then yes. I'll be back even earlier then. Yeah, okay. Go. Don't leave your friend waiting. All right. See you later then. Yeah, be safe. Troy's house is the closest to mine out of all of us, so I'd spend a lot of my summers here hanging out with him. He always had a lot of video games on his retro console, and although they weren't usually the best games, if we were too lazy to go to the arcade, we'd just play with the ones he had. But since the others live in a different neighborhood, sometimes it would just be the two of us, which was a bit awkward. Both of us are pretty shy, so when it was just us alone, the hangouts would be much quieter than usual. And despite this, though, he and I got along really well. Us quiet kids get along, I suppose. Much like David's house, Troy's house is practically the same on the lawn, right down to the little plastic birds on the lawn. I'm a little surprised no one has broken them. I guess they took pity on the old things. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Also, I wanted to apologize, y'all, for only doing 2 videos a day for a little bit. Things have been a little complicated in my life lately. I've been trying to make some changes, you know. I'm really enjoying my new job. I'm doing very, very well at it. But I don't know, there's just some stuff going on with me mentally right now that's just really killed a lot of my motivation. Yeah, so I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to get back on a normal schedule. I'll be fine. I'll be fine, y'all. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. It's just something I gotta get through now. We all struggle mentally sometimes, so. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!